Welcome back, fellow believers. So I'm going to read my 12 chapters in the Old Testament and 4 chapters in the New Testament so that I will be able to read the Bible and finish it every 3 months. One can read the Bible in different ways. You can read it very super slow. You can study it. You can memorize it. You can do cross-reference. You can do character study. You can do word study. Study the outlines, cross-references, the geography of the Bible. But in this, reading the Bible every 3 months, I'm going to scan. Basically, I just scan and then I will pause every once in a while. All right, here we go. So I'm on chapter 13, so plus 12. I should be in chapter 25 of Genesis. Finished all 20 up to 25, past 25. Read through 25, then I'll be done. Abram inherits Canaan. Lot's captivity and rescue. Abram and Melchizedek. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was the priest of God Most High. This is, by the way, the New King James Version. God's covenant with Abram. Do not be afraid, Abram. I'm your shield, your exceedingly great reward. So the Lord God, Jehovah, Yahweh, the Lord, His person is our shield and our exceedingly great reward. Hagar and Ishmael. The sign of the covenant. So after Abraham went into Hagar, produced Ishmael, 13 years God disappeared, would not appear to Abram until now when he's 99 years old. God upset him, because he did things out of his own flesh and not trust in God. So God, after 13 years, God appeared to him again when he's 99 years old. And also mentioning about circumcision to him. So Abraham took Ishmael his son, all who were born in his house, and all who were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskins, that Very same day as God had said to him. Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. That very same day Abraham was circumcised, and his son Ishmael, and all the men of his house born in the house or bought with money from a foreigner were circumcised with him. Okay, this advertisement. The son of promise. Abraham intercedes for Sodom. Sodom's depravity. Now before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both old and young, all the people from every quarter surrounded the house. And they called to Lot and said to him, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them up to us, that we may know them carnally." So Lot went out to them through the doorway, shut the door behind him, and said, "Please, my brethren, do not do so wickedly. See now, I have 2 daughters who have not known a man. Please let me bring them out to you, and you may do to them as you wish. Only do nothing to these men, since this is the reason they have come under the shadow of my roof." And they said, "Stand back." Then they said, "This one came in to stay here, and he keeps acting as a judge. Now we will deal worse with you than with them." So they pressed hard against the man Lot, and came near to break down the door. But the men reached out their hands and pulled Lot into the house with them, and shut the door. And they struck the men who were at the doorway of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they became weary trying to find the door. Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed. But his wife looked back behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. The descendants of Lot. It happened on the next day that the firstborn said to the younger, "Indeed, I lay with my father last night." So there was incest. "Let us make him drink wine tonight also, and you go in and lie with him, that we may preserve the lineage of our father." Then they made the father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. Thus both the daughters of Lot were with child by their father. The firstborn bore a son and called his name Moab. He is the father of the Moabites to this day. And the younger, she also bore a son and called his name Ben-Ammi. He is the father of the people of Ammon to this day. Abraham and Abimelech. So Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech his wife and his female servants. Then they bore children for the Lord had closed up all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. 14. Then Abimelech took sheep, oxen, and male and female servants, and gave them to Abraham, and he restored Sarah his wife to him. And Abimelech said, See, my land is before you, dwell where it pleases you. Then to Sarah he said, Behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Indeed, this vindicates you before all who are with you, and before everybody. Thus she was rebuked. Basically, Abraham got rich because of God had put a dream to Abimelech. At least materially got rich. With money, with animals, livestock. Isaac is born. Hagar and Ishmael depart. A covenant with Abimelech. Abraham's faith confirmed. The family of Nahor. Sarah's death and burial. Sarah lived 127 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah, before Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave that is in it were deeded to Abraham by the sons of Heth as property for a burial place. A bride for Isaac. Abraham and Keturah. Abraham again took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bore him Zimran, Jokshan, Median, Ishbak, and Shua. So Abraham had, in addition to Sarah, had also Keturah with 8 kids from it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids. Zimran, Jokshan, Median, Ishbak, and Shua. Abraham's death and burial. This is the sum of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived, 175 years. The families of Ishmael and Isaac. So the boys grew, and Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, but Jacob was a mild man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Esau sells his birthright. Then Jacob said, "Swear to me as of this day." So he swore to him, and sold his birthright to Jacob. And Jacob gave Esau bread and stew of lentils. Then he ate and drank, arose, and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. All right, so I'm done with the Old Testament, now the New Testament. 4 chapters in the New, and I will use the New American Standard Version so that I don't have to flip back and forth. When you use 2 versions, you don't have to remember where you left off. Flipping back and forth. Okay. Matthew 5, so 4 chapters. I got to read through chapter 9. New American Standard Version. The Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Personal relationships. Giving to the poor and prayer. Fasting, the true treasure, wealth, mammon. The cure for anxiety. Judging others. Prayer and the Golden Rule. Treat people the same way you want them to treat you, for this is the law and the prophets. The narrow and wide gates. A tree and its fruit. The two foundations. Jesus cleanses a leper, the centurion's faith. Peter's mother-in-law and many others healed. Discipleship tested. Jesus casts out demons. Paralytic healed. Matthew called. The question about fasting. Miracles of healing. Okay, I'm done. So you do this 12 in the O, 4 in the kneel. You do it every day. You'll finish the entire Bible every 3 months. All right. Don't forget to smash the subscribe, the like, and leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next video.